Proverbs chapter 21, verse 5 says, good planning and hard work lead to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty.
Ooh.
Okay? That's a great wisdom. In case you don't know, and Proverbs is the book of wisdom. That's wisdom. Good planning and hard work. It's not enough to just plan. You've got to do the work. And that's what people don't like to do. And not just like courting relationships, if you will, or romantic relationships. So people don't like to do the hard work in parenting. That's a relationship. The hard work in terms of job relationships. You know, it requires good planning, but it requires the hard work. And if we do those things, it leads to prosperity. Not more money, but good life.
Yes.
And if we don't do it and we try to take shortcuts, it leads to poverty, meaning that you could be spiritually depleted. You could be spiritually poor. You could be emotionally depleted. You could be emotionally poor. You could be mentally depleted. You could be mentally poor if you do not do the work that's connected to the plans you have. Go ahead, Professor.
Well, that's actually a great verse for us to begin with, and it is true.
I thought you would like that. That's why I started with that one.
Well, see, I count on you to come up with Bible verses.
So you do agree I'm holier than you?
Yes. I will definitely agree with that one. You are definitely more holy. So the Emotionally Healthy Discipleship book by Pete Scazzaro, we've talked about that before, and I mentioned it the first week of this series.
Yeah.
He has in his book this iceberg analogy. And if you think about what an iceberg is, we only see the top part of the iceberg above the surface of the water. But below, it could spread for miles and miles and miles, and we have no idea. That's how the Titanic sank. It hit an iceberg that to their navigator looked small, like they could navigate around it, and then we know from the movie that was re-released recently that did not work out so well for them. And so in the same vein, that iceberg analogy that Pete Scazzaro uses, he talks about identifying brokenness versus wholeness. And so as an individual, becoming the right person, and several different people post memes about this all the time, that it's not that you are attracting the wrong people, it's that you've got to work on you.
Yeah.
And be whole in and of it yourself. I like the way that Andy Stanley says this, and I think I said it the other week. Are you the person that the person you're looking for is looking for? For those of you who are trying to find a mate.
Say that slow so that people don't miss it, because that's really good.
Yeah, okay. Are you the person that the person you're looking for is looking for? So becoming the right person, taking time to sit there and say, okay, what in me do I need to be working on so that I can come into this relationship complete and whole? It's not two halves, not my better half, not my worse half. It's we're two whole individuals.
Right.
The challenge, of course, in a marriage relationship is that it's the only relationship that shows you who you are.
That's right.
Who you really are. You could have a roommate and hide from them.
Yeah.
You can have friends and hide from them. But your spouse, it is really hard to hide.
That's facts.
To hide who you are. You can, one of my favorite scenes from A Different World was when Whitley and Dwayne Wayne got married. And he thought Whitley just woke up put together and beautiful. And if y'all remember that episode, Whitley was waking up before him, like 30 minutes before, putting on a whole face of makeup, doing her hair, brushing her teeth, and then she just woke up.
Look at the young people looking at you like, what is a different world?
Okay, it's a TV. Listen, I know Taylor knows. It is that idea that I have to be someone else.
Right.
And in order for you to like me. And I was reading online the other day, someone posted that there are a lot of people out online who are trolling and saying things like, oh, I don't like it when women do this or women do that. And the thing is who cares what you like or dislike? I have to like me so that when I come into this relationship, I'm strong enough to understand who I am as an individual. And then if you don't like me, then that's okay. Because one of the things I need you to be able to do is to admire me for me.
Right.
I was reading over some notes, and I forgot to put it in here, but some of us are dating somebody right now who is only lusting for you.
Come on, that's good.
They don't admire you as a person. They just lust after you. And Jesus said that is a sin.
Yeah.
And we do that in our minds before we ever act on it. So there is somebody who is sitting there going, I think you're hot to trot, but they don't like you as a person.
That was very old school.
Was it old school? Yeah. I was trying to keep it PG. Pastor Marvin, that was too old school.
It's like the Commodores.
The Commodores old school? Well, you know, Lionel
Yeah, the
Richie's
Commodores
on
are
the
old
show with the
Yeah, but he ain't singing no more. With the
asking
afro
his opinion.
and the bell bottle. Okay.
Marriage is the only relationship that really shows you who you are. Iron can sharpen iron, which is also in Proverbs, or you can walk in a ever-present state of offense. So one of the things that comes up a lot of times, and I was just reminded of it in the bumper that you created. Didn't Pastor B do a great job on that bumper? He did that all by himself. He's so creative.
It's my new side hustle in case anybody needs some help,
if you need
whatever, just hit me up.
Graphics.
Hit me in my DMs.
Okay, I don't want
got
people
you.
all in your DMs. That's not
Business.
helpful. Anyway. One of the phrases that he put on there was put added tongue-in-cheek, wives submit to your husbands. Because a lot of times we get that twisted, and we'll spend more time in Bible study this week and the next few weeks because it's Women's History Month in March, and we're going to talk about women in the New Testament.
I love celebrating the sisters. I love it. Seriously.
But I want to point out the verse, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
If your spouse is not able to really be themselves around you, or you're not able to be yourself around them because you're afraid that they're going to be offended by anything you do and say, then you're not iron sharpening iron. You're like, you got to be a cotton ball, and they get to be iron.
Right.
And that is one of the things that I think in our culture that we misunderstand God's word about. When God says iron sharpens iron, and in your marriage relationship, you're going to see really intimately who this person is, then you've got to both bring your whole A game with you. And I think that's one of the things that we miss. But in becoming the right person, you've got to understand know ahead of time, what are your triggers that are going to make you offended, and how that's going to affect the other person, and that's important.
Yeah.
And there's some proverbs about offense.
A lot of them.
I'm sure you've got them.
I don't have them. They're probably highlighted, but
highlighted.
I didn't bookmark it, so I can't give them. I told you, you're smarter than me.
No.
You wait, listen, Professor. That's a good point about becoming the person. We are not the same people we were when we first met, right?
No.
But that's a good thing, and here's what I mean by that, and I'm just going to say it. I'm better because of you. And I began to discover, because guess what? I wasn't a husband until I married you. So now I had to learn how to become a good husband. I had to kind of put away some images of husbands in my lineage, right? Because if we just look at the models we've had growing up, and no slight on any of our parents who are probably watching or other family members, but we had to kind of take what we thought was good and what was applicable to what we wanted, because we were talking about, we had a plan for our marriage.
Yeah,
we knew the kind of marriage we wanted. We knew the kind of parents we wanted to be. We literally had a plan. And so in part of the plan, I became, and I'm still becoming. I'm not there yet. I have to learn what it's like now to be married to Dr. Erica Santiago. Like, you might be walking around with your airs on, like, do address me, the doctor has entered the building. Is my coffee ready?
Y'all know how I feel about titles, so yeah.
Yeah, but this is a different title. You don't like title First Lady, but Doctor you might embrace a little bit. Only lady. Look, let's see, I told y'all saw that? That wasn't a definitive no. But the point I'm making is, I'm better because of you, not just as a husband, but as a person. Right? Because part of part of fulfilling my purpose required a partnership. It didn't necessarily require a marriage, but it required a partnership. And so what I see first in our marriage is our partnership. So I'm better not because we're married, I'm better because you're my partner. Does that make sense?
I would agree.
And I would say, well, I won't say it. You should say the same thing.
I said I agree.
No, you should say the same thing for you. Like,
Oh, that I'm better because
Yeah.
you're my. I'm sorry. He wants me to be real clear.
I'm joking. I'm just.
But no, that's true. You should, as a couple, and this goes with any of your relationships, you should be better off because of the relationships you have with people.
Right.
There are over 50 love one another's in the New Testament. And part of that one anothering is becoming a better you because of the people that you are around. So, and your spouse, because you can't escape that, you are supposed to be better because of that. So yeah, I would agree. Let's talk a little bit about building on that. So I had this cool graphic that I found online that's a house. And imagine a house has floors. And on the first floor of your sound relationship house, which I got this from the Gottman Institute, which we gave away 2 of their books this month, 7 Habits. 7 Habits of something. Anyway.
Can I tell the people
What?
who might be considering joining our married couple small group?
Yeah.
That we'll be kind of be using the principles from the Gottman Institute.
Yes.
So if you are going to be joining our married couple small group, this is something you're going to be learning. I forgot how long it's going to be, but however long it's going to be, we're going to be going through the principles found in the Gottman Institute book. So it's really going to be helpful. It's really going to be beneficial. So that's a quick plug for the married couple small group, by the way.
Yes.
Kind of giving y'all a heads up of what we're going to be studying. Sign up next week. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So the first floor is something called love maps. And we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, the whole love map concept. And what a love map is, it's a foundation of knowing one another. It's a foundation, building on a foundation of intimacy, building on a foundation of asking all the questions. One of the things that I've discovered in the years of doing marriage coaching and pre-marriage coaching is how little some couples know about each other.
Oh my.
And I'm sitting there going, what on earth did y'all talk about when y'all were dating?
Right.
And I don't know, maybe they only talked about what he liked and not what she liked, or vice versa. But the love map is it's a guide into that person's world, and asking knowing what their favorite colors are, knowing what their favorite foods are, recognizing that over time that may change. I think I liked sushi when we met, but I could eat sushi every week now.
And I didn't know that. Like, I knew you liked sushi, but I didn't know you loved sushi. And yeah, like when we go on a date, you're always sushi, and I'm like, I don't want to keep eating raw fish.
I think did that though? Honestly, this is what I think did that. The 3 times I was pregnant, because you can't have sushi when you're pregnant.
Yeah, because you ain't been pregnant in 12 years.
Right. But just having that in the back of my mind, knowing that there was a time where I was not able to have
Stretching.
sushi.
That's a reach, baby. That's a reach. As you way out there. Let it go. It's okay that you like sushi.
But I like sushi. Sushi's good. So building love maps, asking those questions, finding out things, and it's one of those things that you do over time. To your point about the time over the years that we've been together and evolving and growing as individuals, we have learned more about each other, because some things just don't come up until they come up.
Facts.
Like for the first 10 years we were married, he introduced me to a new cousin every week. I didn't know folks' families were that big. And I'm
I still get teased for that.
Why were people invited to our wedding? Like one of his cousins, she may be watching now. I love her to death. She would have gotten an invite like that.
I just met her. Like I met her like after we got married, but she's like.
This is what I'm working with.
I know how our families are sometimes. We kind of scatter. I get teased about that on the prayer all the time, because I'm saying hello to so many cousins, and I'm like, there's different levels of cousin. Like there's blood, then there's, just we grew up in the same hood cousins, then there's marriage. It's just so many levels of cousins.
My cousins are like biological cousins.
And then there's 2 sides of the family. Well, I mean, some of mine are. Whatever.
So but when it comes to your love maps and getting to know one another, these are things that are important, because early on in our marriage, I didn't have a bucket in my brain for extended family the way that he had a bucket in his brain for extended family. Like we didn't have we saw things very differently. I didn't have a bucket in my brain for people living with us.
Yes.
For extended
Me, I'm like, I got a house.
time.
Everybody, come. You coming
He's
to
like,
Atlanta? Live with
we
me. I got
4
extra
bedrooms
rooms.
here. You come stay with us indefinitely. No problem.
That's how I grew up.
And I'm over here like,
Look, Miss Glory's like, no.
Listen, come to Atlanta, get a job, move out of my house.
Come stay. Stay as long as you want.
So, but these are things we probably should have had a conversation about.
But
when we
there's
were dating.
somebody here. You're talking about the love maps. I won't call them out. That just really,
hit it
they
out the
showed
park.
me their in their phone. Like they have it set up, the love maps for their spouse. And I'm looking at it like, dang, I need to step my game up. Like he knew everything, all of her best friends and her favorite food. I won't say their name, maybe some initials like Kevin Smith, right?
But here's here's why that is such a blessing to us, and all the guys are sitting there going, all the ladies are like, yay, Kevin.
I'm looking at Kev like, dang, bro, why are you
All
showing
the
this?
guys are like, man, he's making us look bad. But here's why community is so important. This is why community is so important.
Come on, talk about it.
Community in the body of Christ is so important, because if we didn't know, if we didn't know that Kevin had that list, then you wouldn't know to raise your game. And I thought you were doing pretty good.
Okay, good. So I don't have to then.
No, I'm not saying you don't have to.
You made me nervous.
No, but you were.
I know your
doing
best
that,
friends.
But you were doing that in your own way. You just didn't have it like a physical list. So
Now, honestly, I would tell you, if I had the Gottman Institute thing early in our marriage, I would have made less mistakes, like buying you flowers.
oh my gosh, yes.
That was a big issue.
So I'm not a flower person. But if you're going to get me flowers, there's only one flower I like. That is not the flower he would get me. You know what flower he would get me? He'd get me the flower that his grandmother liked, which was really sweet.
No, it's the flower I like. I love lilies. Lilies are beautiful.
But what you told
And they're
me
fragrant.
was this is your grandmother's favorite flower. I told you which flower I like.
I may have stretched the truth.
Whatever. So,
A little bit.
building love
Too late,
maps.
20 years in the game now.
Moving on. Building love maps is so important to understand from an intimacy level what your partner likes, how they prefer to relax after a tense day, and so on. Now, floor number 2 in this imaginary house we're building here is to share fondness and admiration. As I mentioned before, there are people out there who like you, but they don't admire you. They don't really want all of you that comes with the package. Everyone needs to hear something nice about themselves. It's not just a love language. Everyone needs to hear something nice about themselves. Vocalizing the characteristics of your partner, your spouse, your friends, your loved ones that you like about them. And we do this really good at the office. We'll go to work and we will tell our coworker, I really appreciate the way you make those spreadsheets.
Yeah.
But we will come home and not tell our spouse, hey, I really appreciate the way that you make sure that the clothes are folded a certain way.
Yes.
I should do that more often. I appreciate that you fold the clothes a certain way, especially the towels.
And you did that in front of the
In front of everybody.
Girl, you're going to make me cry up in here. Thank
Okay.
you.
Floor number 3.
Floor number 3.
Do you want to talk about floor number 3?
Floor number 3. Turn-ons. I mean, turn towards.
towards.
I'm sorry. I've read that wrong.
I should not have let him do that.
Why you give me that one?
I don't know. I thought you could. Yeah, Lord.
You know my sighting. Turn towards. I swear I saw turn-ons. I'm sorry.
Turn towards.
Forgive me. Sorry, Brooke.
One
And
of
Sydney.
the.
And Junior. All our
They
kids
all
are in here.
today. Gee whiz. They know, but here's the thing. They know. They live in the house with us.
Oh, God. This is funny.
Let me help you with that.
You do that. Yeah, you do turn-ons. I mean, turn towards. Help me, Lord. Pastor Celeste, what is wrong with
One
me?
of the things that shows up a lot in coaching when there is, and when there's not even a conflict,
Yes.
but it shows up, is that sometimes we live in a culture that is very individualistic. And because we live in a culture that is very individualistic, which is the total opposite of the culture in the Bible. The culture in the Bible is very communal. It's all about, all for one, one for all. We're all in this together, whether it's Old Testament or New Testament. But we live in a pull yourself up by your bootstraps, do you, live your best life, all about you kind of culture. And what that does to our relationships is it makes it incredibly hard for us to turn towards our spouse instead of turning away from them.
Yeah.
So we could both be watching TV, but we could be sitting on opposite ends of the sofa and not really in the same room, having physical proximity to one another, but not in the same room. Or some of us in our houses, one will be in one room and one will be in another room because we're not turning towards our spouses and building that time in a very intentional way. And sometimes our spouse is looking for that opportunity, for that safe space to engage, to have that conversation. And we have to do that even in our parenting relationship.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that I learned early on is whatever it was I was doing, if one of my kids comes to me, and even if I'm busy, I will do my very best to stop and pause. And if it's something I really need to keep my focus on, I'll let them know.
Yeah.
But if it's really not that important, what I do when they're younger matters when they're older, because if I'm too busy for them all the time when they're 2 and 3 and don't turn to them, when they come to me for whatever it is to show me the new rock they found outside, then when they're teenagers, they're not going to come with me.
Not going to feel comfortable coming. Yeah, you're
so
right.
we do the same thing with our spouses, though. Making it so that, I'm approachable when you want to talk to me and vice versa.
Right.
And we've actually had to have conversations about that. It's like, hey, you came off a little unapproachable today. And is there something that we need to talk about? Or is it just you were in your feelings? And that's okay. It's okay to give people space, but it shouldn't be every day.
Right.
So turning towards one another.
That's good.
Do you want to try number 4?
I'll try number 4. That's easy.
We're working our
That's
way
much
up on
easier.
the floors. So we've got love maps. We've got share fondness and admiration. We're turning towards each other. The 4th floor.
We're building up. So the foundation was what you said. The 4th floor is the positive perspective. It isn't so much of life all in how you look at it. It's that's what the positive perspective offers. Couples in healthy relationships see the best in each other and don't rush to offense or criticism. And I think that's very important. It's easy to point out someone's flaws. It's very easy. I mean, any of us could do that, right? Especially if you're easily offended. And for me, that's a big one. I'm easily offended because I'm more emotional than you are. But it's also important to point out positive things. One of the rules we have in my house is don't tell me any bad news without telling me all the good news first. And so we used to have a thing where I would come home, I'd been out all day, and Erica was homeschooling for a while. She'd just come in telling me everything bad that would happen. It's like, I can't, I just came from the world, which is negative. Give me some positive, and then let's deal with the negative things. I need energy to deal with that. It's the same thing with your spouse. There has to be that positive. I know there's some challenges we got to talk about, but let's talk about the good first. Let's build up a reservoir of positivity in order to handle what some or the world or culture would define as negative things. Another way to look at this is affirmations, right? We do this thing, and you all heard us talk about the 5 love languages. Well, my love language is affirmations. My wife's love language is not affirmations, but that does not mean she doesn't need to be affirmed. You get what I'm saying? Just because that's not your spouse's love language doesn't mean that they don't need it. She needs affirmations just as much as I do. She needs it just as much as I do. I just need a little bit more because that's the language that causes reaction from me. But she still needs it. She still needs to know, hey, I appreciate you. She still needs to know, hey, thank you, for holding down the fort in my absence. She still needs to know, like, you are killing it in school and at home. How are you balancing all of this? Doing Bible studies, doing your doctorate program, and helping with college applications. And I think I did the applications. Yeah, I do all that stuff. But anyway, that's partnership.
But it's maintaining a positive perspective as partners. It's recognizing that we're on the same team.
That's the key. We're on the same team.
That also goes back to the turning towards one another, remembering that we're on the same team. Which brings us to floor number 5, which is conflict.
Which we kind of talked about a little bit last week.
We talked about that a little bit.
Thing.
And so I don't want to spend a lot of time rehashing that. I think a lot of times, and this goes back to the love maps and the time in the dating phase, if you're going to be in a relationship, is a lot of times the problems that couples have are not conflicts that are necessarily resolvable. It's a matter of respecting one another's opinions or values. See, when you're dating, that's your opportunity to find out what your values are. Your core values typically are not going to change drastically over time. Whatever the conflict happens to be, a lot of times it's just a difference in lifestyle at the moment or difference of opinion or personality, but always honor and respect the person that you're in relationship with, because their values, a lot of times it's a core value. And that's the thing that shows up most of the time as a superficial conflict. So recognizing the difference between something that's a superficial conflict and something that's a core value conflict.
Yeah, and we don't have to go much. We
don't
talked
have to
a lot
go
about that
all the way into that.
on last week. So if you missed our segment last week where we kind of touched on the subject matter of conflict resolution, I implore you and invite you to check out last week's message. I'm sure it will help you.
Yeah, and so floor number 6, moving up, is making life dreams come true. One of the things about companionship and being in relationship is having the support of your partner to do the things that you want to do. I would not have been able to go back to school to work on master's degrees without the support of my spouse. If you feel like, if you're in a relationship and you feel like you can't go and do you, then there's a challenge, and the question is now why? And that's a conversation.
I think we should spend a little time on this, because in our coaching, we've dealt with people where that's an issue, where it's like, hey, I have dreams and he has dreams, and it's like, well, whose dreams are first? It's like, it shouldn't be your dream and your dream, it should be our dream. You pursuing your master's and now your doctorate, it benefits us. I'm like, hey, we got a doctor in the Santiago family. Hey, I'll take it. Dr. Erica Santiago. That's that's our degree.
Or it might look like a plan, coming up with a plan like Jason and Tiffany to pay off debt.
Yes.
So we have our financial small group that started a few weeks back, and they're now sharing how they did that together, how they were able to partner and do that. But if you are not in a relationship, there's no reason for you not to be able to find someone to hold you accountable for the success of that. And so sometimes we think that it's an either or, but really it's a both and.
It's a both and,
It's a both and. And that takes us to number 7, and that's where we'll be able to jump from the top floor into talking about purpose and vision. The number 7, the top floor, is creating shared meaning.
Talk about that a little bit.
Creating shared meaning. The sound relationship house, once you go from understanding who one another are with your love maps and working your way up through everything else, when you get to that level, you are developing what your culture is in your household. And that might mean what traditions you're going to celebrate. Some households, when I was growing up, I didn't grow up celebrating Kwanzaa. I knew it was there, but I didn't grow up celebrating it. I started celebrating it with you. In fact, that was our first date.
That was our first date. That was a test. You passed.
Even though I thought they were shouting Cujo.
Cujo Chagulia.
I was
Erica,
so
we've been
not-
celebrating
I know,
Kwanzaa for 20
but I
years.
was not, yeah. It was new to me. But I embraced that tradition because I thought it was pretty cool.
Or you were desperate. I don't know. I couldn't tell which one. Like you wore a Brooks Brothers suit.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm going to check it. What's all that noise about?
See? No love on that one, honey. No love on that.
Only ladies, the fellas ain't saying that.
Good, because they sit next to their wives. They're smart.
They're smart, yeah. But no, seriously, that is something, that tradition. Then there were traditions here. Oh, I got to say this one. And then we created traditions.
Yes.
So we have this thing called Santiago Adventures.
Oh, yes.
And that's for every vacation. But we noticed in this last vacation that we took just last week, we do have a tradition, and that is no matter where we go, we have to find a miniature golf place. That's like our tradition. We got to do miniature golf. And
you didn't do so well.
I did very well. I just lost, but I didn't.
In golf, the higher score is not the good score.
I didn't have the highest score.
No, you didn't. You didn't have the lowest score either, though.
I had the second lowest score. I beat you.
Oh, I let everybody beat you.
Oh.
It's about making sure the children.
Okay, so Broderick won. Okay, that's what we want to say. Yes, he won. He's beat me twice now. And so
okay,
that's not the tradition. I'm a win. Okay, the tradition is playing the game, but him beat me will not be the tradition. I don't play that. Okay, I will avenge myself, son.
So
it was your birthday. I'm not done with him yet. It was your birthday. That's why you won.
You're the better player.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Samuel. I didn't let him win. He won fair and square.
Creating shared meaning. Creating shared meaning creates, is talking about creating rituals of connection.
Yeah.
Creating traditions with the two of you as a couple. And this is something that you can do if you're dating or even if you're married, and it's never too late to start doing that. There's a blog post, I'll share it in the, hey, did you guys know we have a married couples Facebook group? During the lockdowns of the pandemic, we created a number of Facebook groups online to continue to facilitate community, even though we were not able to meet in person. So we have our Mosaic membership group, which I think most of you are in. We have a married couples group. And in that group, I'll share a blog post that I found the other day, 6 dates to master throughout marriage, 6 different types of dates. Which I thought was really good. And if we had more time today, I would rattle those off. But after shared meaning, the walls of the house are based on trust and commitment. But from shared meaning is where you get purpose and vision for your marriage, because that's where that comes together. That shared meaning, if we don't understand the purpose of something, we will abuse it, we will misuse it.
Oh, come on.
People were created to be loved.
Yes.
Things were created to be used. But in our American culture, we have chaos because things are being loved and people are being used.
Say that again for the people in the back. That was good. People, say it again.
People are being loved, things are being loved, and people are being abused.
Used, yeah.
And so in his book, Your Purpose is Calling, Your Difference is Your Destiny, Dr. Darius Daniels presents 3 concepts that I think also can apply to your relationships. And our book giveaways today are Relational Intelligence, also by Dr. Darius Daniels, and Your Purpose is Calling. He talks about fulfillment, the right fit, figuring out you, and fruitfulness when it comes to just you. But when it's us, what does fulfillment, fit, and fruitfulness really look like?
Yeah.
Do you want to share a little bit about fulfillment?
Fulfillment. No, I didn't. I wasn't planning to. I thought you had it. What do you want me to say about fulfillment?
Well,
I'm fulfilled when I'm with you. Is that good? I don't know.
That sounds good.
It sounds good.
That sounds good.
All
We'll
right.
keep that.
We'll keep that. Good.
In another one of Pastor Darius's teachings, he talks about multiplication and wholeness. So just like Pete Scazzaro talks about it in the concept with the iceberg and understanding who you are, Pastor Darius in his book, Your Purpose is Calling, talks about soul wounds, what is beneath the surface. A lot of us, we think we might be healed from something. It's really just that we haven't been triggered. And
Ooh, that's
as
good.
we are together and growing together in our relationship, what ends up happening is this person that gets to know me in a way that I don't even know myself. I don't know that he may do something that triggers me, and he has no idea what happened, because there's this soul wound that's sitting beneath the surface that he doesn't know about and that I may not have addressed. So one of the things in the Gottman book is they address how, that if we don't get to the core foundation of the issue that's causing conflict, even if it's causing conflict with ourselves, we will bring conflict into our relationship because we haven't addressed that.
Yeah.
Being fulfilled means to be good with you, being that 1 times 1 equals 1. That's that multiplication Pastor Darius was talking about, the oneness, that 2 wholes. And God's vision for relationships comes right in the beginning. Jesus even says it in Matthew 19. He says, as it was in the beginning, Genesis 2, God's purpose for relationships was that we would rule and have dominion together. Now, that doesn't necessarily just limit itself to marriage relationships,
No.
although that's usually how we focus that point. But I think it's really important to address all those obstacles, and those are things that we're going to talk about in the married couples small group,
Yeah, in the
how to
small group.
overcome that. Do you want to talk about fit a little bit?
Yeah, because this is something that people say a lot, opposites attract. All right, and that's kind of like what fit is talking about. It's embracing your uniqueness. There are certain things about my beautiful bride that are uniquely her, but beneficial for us.
Yes.
Right? And so it's not so much opposites attract. It's just there are certain things that you are stronger at, or there may be certain things that your spouse or whoever you're in a relationship are stronger at. That's really what the fit is about. Do we fit together? Does this go together? Does this work together with how God designed you and how he designed me? Does this work together for the greater good of us? That makes sense? And so I think that's in essence what fit is. If I'm wrong, correct me.
And that's what Pastor Darius talks about, learning to thrive off of your strengths and your weaknesses, because things that he's better at may not be something that I'm strong in. And so figuring out my own identity and then being okay with, I don't have to be the best at every single thing, because this is where my partner comes into play. Just like any team.
Yeah, it's same thing with any team. And well, that's what partnership is, right? It's a team sport. Marriage is a team sport. It's two of us. We're on the same team, and
it's not about power. It's not about, and this is where power plays or hierarchy are not part of the kingdom of God. Jesus says this repeatedly. He's like, in my kingdom, it's going to be kind of upside down.
Yeah.
And it's, the last will be first will be last. It is about finding that balance and that partnership, so that when we discover our identity, we can then clarify our activity.
That's called fruitfulness.
And that is fruitfulness.
Good stuff.
Couple of things we'll definitely talk about in the married couples small group, what a godly marriage actually looks like. One of the things I think that we miss in our American culture today is that our wedding vows, that's cultural. They're made up. They're not. You can't find the wedding vows in the Bible. They're not there. So what does marriage look like in the Bible? It's a covenant relationship. What is a covenant? Not a contract, but a covenant relationship, which is teamwork, making it work, working together for the greater good of that covenant, and not getting hung up on culture. That's why it's never an issue when we're doing weddings. If you want to write your own vows, knock yourself out. Whatever because that's what you're vowing to one another.
Right.
To make that, but the covenant is between you as a couple and God.
And God.
And
among witnesses.
Among witnesses, that community again. Okay, I have one last thing that I put in the notes, and I'll let you take it.
Listen, you have nailed it. Give it up for my wife. I've just added like comedy relief. That's about it. Just a few, but I've let you go with this. You kind of put the framework for today's message together, and I've just let you flow because it flows well. So when you ask me to give input, I'm like, yeah, no, you're doing good. Keep going. So keep going.
All right. So I had this thought, and I wrote it down in my notes. How many of y'all play spades? Got a few hands up.
You didn't raise your hand, right?
No, I did raise I got a trophy for playing spades.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
In college.
Bought that from the Goodwill.
Anyway, married couples, if you are playing spades, those of you who play spades know that you play teams.
Yes.
And if you get distracted and off your A game, what does your partner tell you? Play to win. Well, after they fuss at you for not paying attention. Play to win. As a couple. Well, right, you can't talk across the board. Thank you, that's a good
Told y'all she didn't play spades. Anyway.
No, but you can say play to win.
You can't say play to win.
You can say play to win.
Okay.
You can say play to, thank you, spades players. You can play to win. When you are a couple playing spades, you play to win, and it's a team effort. You are looking at playing so that the both of you benefit.
Uh-huh.
Not like Uno, which is, I'm going to get you with the draw four.
Or a couple, and you stack, you can get a couple. Anyway, that's another
That's
story.
a whole, see, that goes back to that shared meaning, creating your house rules for Uno and spades.
Everybody got house
Joker,
rules.
Joker,
right?
deuce.
Yeah.
Yeah, big joker, little joker. Listen, you haven't played spades unless you've played it straight without all the extra stuff. It's harder.
Notice it got quiet because nobody knew what you were talking about.
Really?
It's crickets. They're like,
Anyway.
what is she talking about? It's okay. It's okay. Just don't renege.
Oh, no, of course not.
Right?
Of course
Good.
not.
Play your hand. So
Play
good.
your hand.
So yeah, we're playing to win in marriage.
Oh, I'm not even going to say that out loud. Okay.
She already said it out loud.
I know she said it, but I'm not going to repeat it in the mic because it doesn't need to go on the...
They're missing all of this good
Internet.
entertainment online.
Yeah, so next Sunday, Vision Sunday, and people can come in.
So really quick,
But vision for marriage.
vision for marriage. Honestly, thank you for all of that. And that's a lot. We know that we dropped a lot on you. Y'all know that's just how we do. We give you a bunch of information. We say, hey, here it is. Apply it as you need to. 20 years. We've tried all of these different methods. We continue to try methods. Even now, we never stop. You never stop growing. Once you stop growing, that means you're dead. You never stop learning, right? So we're always constantly learning how to, our marriage goal is till death do we part. It's not divorce. It's not avoiding divorce. It's till death do we part. Well, how do you get there? You constantly evolve. You're constantly learning. You're constantly growing. You're constantly changing and applying different things. And I think that's the essence of the marriage, because we're not robotic or we're not mechanic, right? We're constantly growing. Our children are growing. So when the kids leave the house, we become different individuals. When we vacation with the kids, it's different than when she and I just vacation. All of these things change. It's all a part of the partnership of what the marriage looks like. But it begins with a plan. Now you may be asking, well, what does that look like? Well, we had a plan in the beginning. Our plan was not to not get divorced. That's too easy. People say that and they'll stay in abusive relationships. Mm-hmm. People say that and they'll just take all kind of mess that they don't need to take. What does it mean? What is a plan for your marriage to be successful and be prosperous? What does that look like? And that's something that your person you're dating, the person you're engaged with, the person you're married to, that's something you all have to have a discussion about. I like to call it dreaming. I think a few years ago, I was sharing with somebody. I said, you know what? Me and my wife are in such an incredible place because we're dreaming again. Because there was a point in our marriage, and I'm getting a little emotional, forgive me, but there was a point in our marriage where we stopped dreaming together because we were only focused on the kids. I want to caution you about that. Many people will disagree, but the Bible is very clear about it. It's God first, your spouse, and then them kids. And I said it that way, them kids.
Them kids.
It's God first, your spouse second, and then them kids.
And for those of you who have that word picture with the umbrellas and stuff, that is heresy. Don't throw that out. The one where it goes from God to the husband to the wife to the kids. That's heresy.
Yeah. And so my point is that don't let stuff get in the way of you and your spouse dreaming. Mm-hmm. And so we have dreams about. I don't want to share these are our personal things. I wasn't going. I wasn't going there.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't going there either. We're on negative 3
that would be
minutes
TMI
on the clock. So
when you said TMI, I thought you were going there.
No, I never know where you're going to go because
I'm not going to go there. All right. Anyway, anywho, we have plan. Here's one of our plans that we're working on, like as we speak. Brooke is graduating, Broderick is thereafter, then there's Sydney. So our plans are, what's next? Mm-hmm. What does life look like when they're out the house for us? Mm-hmm. What plans do we need to make? Watch this. We're getting ready to buy a house. Prayerfully, this market changes this year. Do we buy a house big enough so when they graduate, they come back, or do we buy something small so they can't come back? That's a real conversation you got to have. No, I'm serious. That's a conversation you got to have. And these are things we're thinking about. Do we, stay here, or do we just say, all right, y'all find a new pastor, we out this joint, I'm moving to Bermuda or something. I'm being honest when I say this. These are plans we have.
Costa Rica since we got married.
Where?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, yeah.
House Hunters International.
Yes. But anyway, I'm being serious. These are conversations you got to have. And we've done this every step of our marriage. There was a season where we stopped, and that's where things kind of laxed a little bit, but we got back. And that's when I was telling somebody, I said, wow, we're in a good space. We're dreaming together again. And when I say that, we're planning. What does our future look like? Do we ever retire from ministry? I will never retire from ministry. I mean, it may change how I do it, depending on how God leads it. But I think this is what we're doing for the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. When she married me, that wasn't part of our plan.
Sure wasn't.
Because I wasn't planning to be no pastor, right? I was happy being a musician. I was killing it.
A musician.
Matter of fact, can I tell them the plan? The plan
was, cool. I married a musician.
Yeah, and watch this.
Ultimate groupie.
You were the best groupie. You used to hand out the flyers and sell the CDs. You were awesome.
Take
T-shirts,
pictures.
all that stuff, yeah. But our plan was, remember this plan though, seriously? Because when you got pregnant with Brooke, that was my last time being on the road, right? And it was like, okay, no more touring, and then until after the kids get older, and then you got pregnant with Junior, and you got yourself pregnant with Junior.
Isn't that funny how language is? Like, they're my kids,
then
got pregnant.
And then you went and got yourself pregnant with Sydney. And then after, the plan was that after the kids got to a certain age, I could start touring again. But that was before we knew that God would call me into ministry. Because the plan was I was going to start hitting the road again. But obviously God had a plan, not just for me. It was his ultimate plan. It was for the rest of the bandmates too, because everybody started having kids and getting married. So none of us can tour again, though we're talking about it. We'll be old, but we're going to hit the road again.
Y'all be like the Rolling Stones.
And we gonna roll, baby, roll. But nonetheless, for those who don't know, I was a professional musician. Like literally, it wasn't a hobby. That's how we paid the mortgage, and that's how we took vacation. That's how that was how I lived. And the plan was to go back to that. But God said, nope, you're gonna be ministering. So I don't know what that plan is anymore, but we do have a plan for our marriage. And that's the point I'm trying to make in summary. Make sure you have a plan. If you're engaged, what does it look like? What does your future look like? What does parenting look like? We had a plan for parenting.
We did, and all of that went out the window, but
I don't think so.
Well, some of it did.
Our kids are incredible.
Oh, no, I'm not saying they're not. I think our kids are wonderful, but I think that it was a moving target. The plan.
Yeah,
And here's
true
the
that.
thing with planning. Plans change.
Yes.
Be okay with the change.
In football, they call that an audible. It's when you change, you're going to do this play, but okay. I'm missing football, in case y'all are wondering. XFL is not doing it for me right now. I need more. I need to see my Buffalo Bills. Anyway, so is that it? You said we we're going to take questions. There were some questions people had online. If not,
no, we'll address that in a small group. But I do have giveaways.
Giveaways. How you want to give it away? You just run up here again like they did last week?
See me after service. First one up here. I've got 2 books. Your Purpose is Calling. Your Difference is Your Destiny by Dr. Darius Daniels. And then we did this book. We went through this book in Bible study a few years ago when it came out, also by Dr. Darius Daniels, Relational Intelligence, the people skills you need for the life of purpose you want.
And I got to tell you something really quick plug for my pastor, Dr. Darius Daniels, whom I love dearly. He is as big as he is in terms of his reach and ministry, as connected as he is extremely personal. Pastor Erica and I, the things that we're doing next, and we'll share this later on, but we got some very incredible things that we're going to be doing that's going to bless you and bless others. I have a book that'll be coming out probably later this year. All of that came from this man. His one-on-one conversations with me, his encouragement. I mean, literally, when we did our Mosaic Leadership Academy, I was like, he said, how'd it go, son? And I said, he's my spiritual father, so I call him my spiritual pop. I said, listen, we had 6 people sign up, but only 5 people showed up. He said, oh, man, come on, you're killing it. And I was like, huh? Nobody showed up. I failed. He said, no, man. He said, if nobody showed up, you still won. Why? Because you launched. He says, that's winning. You launched. Somebody else has the same idea, but they never launched. And so when we talk about these books on purpose, Dr. Darius, I just have the distinct honor and privilege of being his spiritual son and speaking with him one-on-one. But what he gives to me personally, he puts in that book for all of you all to get. And I highly recommend it. If you're not one of the lucky ones to get it, purchase it. I promise you, whatever dream or vision you have, you're going to want to do it, whatever it takes. Trust me, it's a really, really good book. So that's my plug for Pastor Darius. Amen?
Amen.
Give it up for my beautiful bride, please. Thank you, Dr. Santiago. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for sharing the mic. Y'all thank Pastor V. This was his idea.
They applauded for you louder. It's okay, though. You're prettier. I'm joking. But no, I love doing this with you. We should stop doing it just once a year. We should do it maybe a couple times.
Okay.
We don't have to always talk about relationships.
No. Actually, there's lots of other things.
Maybe you'll let me join you in one of your Bible studies?
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about women this month?
Huh? Oh, I didn't hear you. I really didn't hear you. What'd you say?
You want to talk about women?
Oh, yeah. I love talking about women.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Bible.
In the Bible.
In the Bible.
And because we are doing a series on the Gospels, we are going to focus just on the women in the Gospels.
Cool. All right, cool. Well, listen, we're done. Really quick, before I got to give you an invitation to become a member of the kingdom, not a member of Mosaic Church. So if you are not in a relationship with Jesus Christ, if you are not saved and you want salvation today, listen, if you're online, I'm speaking to you. If you're in the sanctuary, I'm speaking to you. But do me a favor, because I wanted to be personal. Everybody close your eyes for a moment, because there may be somebody who may be afraid to lift their hand because people are watching. If you want to give your life to Christ today, or maybe you want to rededicate your life to Christ, you want to renew your relationship with Him, if that's you in the sanctuary, just lift your hand. Even online, I know I can't see you, but lift your hand. Your hand being lifted, that's a sign of surrender. You lift your hand, you say, Lord, I surrender. I'm saying I want to give all of me in exchange for all of you. My dreams, my plans, my finances, my marriage, my relationships, my business, God, I want to give it all to you. If that's you, you want to give your life to Christ today or rededicate your life, just simply lift your hand. I won't ask you to come up here. That's not how we do things at Mosaic Church. I would just ask your permission to pray with you. I want to pray with you, and I want you to just, you can repeat after me. If you want to give your life to Christ or rededicate it, here's what you got to do. Just say this with me. Say, Father, forgive me for trusting me more than I trust you. You said relationship with you begins with confession. I confess today that I'm a sinner in need of a relationship with you. Father God, forgive me for staying away for so long. I confess that I need relationship with you. I have plans, but my plans are nothing compared to your will. I believe that you died for me. I believe that 3 days later you rose out of the grave for me. And I believe that there'll be a day when you'll come back, you'll be looking for me. I want to make sure that you find me simply. I give my life to you today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.